Hello and welcome to Voice TV Nigeria. I'm Afolabi Wahab, your host. Today, here in the studio, is with me a very strong comrade. But they have been on the ground. Their voice are not heard. They are not talking. They're going low key. But what is happening now with the NLC rejecting the 50% increment, and the federal government are saying they have to give them 15 days before they will be able to go for this strike. Go to strike without the implementation of 15 days, you go to jail. But now we're going to listen to the comrade, the president of Unemployed Youth Association of Nigeria, by name A.B. Uzofa. When we come back from the break, you're going to meet him live and direct. You're welcome back. I'm here with the president of Unemployed Youth Association of Nigeria, A.B. Uzofa. You're welcome to this special program.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Yeah. For a long time now, your association have been on the low key. Your voice is just too low. You're not saying anything to Nigerians. What do you have to tell Nigerians, and why have you people refused to say anything for a long time?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. Actually, it's not as if we've not been saying or we've not been talking, but we've been doing a lot of things on the ground. As you know, what we represent is quite different from the organized labor. We represent those that are the informal sector, those who eat from hand to mouth, those who sell on the roadside, and those who struggle daily to meet ends meet. So it is a different ball game altogether. And we've been very careful on how we handle, how we conduct ourselves, knowing what we represent. It is not like you stopping work or downing your tools, because their own situation is you have to struggle and eat, or sometimes you don't even have anything at all. So it's a different ball game altogether, and we've been trying to organize ourselves in a way that we are not breaching any law of this country. And that is why we've always been in the background. We've not done anything that is contrary to the laws of this country. But the way it is going now, I think it is pushing everybody to the wall. Like this one that is happening right now, this strike, it is going to affect the common man more than anybody else. We want to use this opportunity to give kudos to the FCT minister. Apart from what he's doing right now, he has done a lot for the unemployed youth in the Federal Capital Territory through skills, training programs, and agric empowerment programs, and what have you. So we give him kudos for that. We give him kudos for that. And so, like I said, it is not like we've been quiet, but because we've been operating underground and also been very diplomatic because of what we represent. But as it is now, we will begin to organize ourselves and also begin to talk more, and if possible, do some procession. Thank you.
So what is the stand of your organization, your association, on the strike by the NLC, the TUC? They're saying they want more than what the 50% federal government is giving them, because if you are looking at what they're asking for 496,000 for as a minimum salary for the government workers, and you guys are not working. What is your take on this?
Number one, the workers, we are very reluctant to talk about those who are in the organized labor, the same way they are also very reluctant to talk about those who are not working. If you look very well, you will see that when the NLC does any strike or goes on any industrial action, it is basically for people who are working. They are not talking about those who are not working at all. And so we also are also very careful to delve into their issues. However, what we can say here is that you cannot take out what you don't give in. Nigeria, if it is productive by now, you will not be hearing anything like sharing formula. And because people are beginning to see that the country is all about sharing the cake. And so that is why you see that the Nigerian Labour Congress too is now talking about increasing their own salary. When I was a very young child, we saw what agriculture was doing. There was agric farm in almost every community in Nigeria. Nigeria was productive. But because Nigeria is not, by then our naira has value. There was production in Nigeria. But because Nigeria is not productive, and you're asking, it is still nobody, no agency, no company will pay a staff that is not productive. It's not possible. You cannot rob Paul to pay Peter, or rob Peter to pay Paul. I think that is what is happening in the country. The government will not be able to meet up these demands because Nigeria is an unproductive country. That is the truth of the matter. But they have a right to ask for this salary increment because they have seen what they can see, that some people are paid, their take-home pay is so high, 20 million, 10 million. When they hear of all those allowances, they say, are we not in the same country? If somebody in the National Assembly is taking home this amount, then why is it better than me? I go to work every day. So it is all about sharing and sharing the national cake. It's not because of work. It's not because they are productive. That is how we look at it.
So what is the unemployed youth association of Nigeria are doing with you not being paid? Because in the developed world, you see that the unemployed are being paid some stipends at the end of the month so that they can meet their need. But you have not been paid. But you are not saying anything about this.
I believe the president is going to implement that. There are some of the things that are coming up. When you look at it from the beginning, you cannot judge a man just by in one year in office is not enough to judge anybody. And so this is a man that I believe nobody knows everything he has in mind right now. But I believe that President Bola Tinubu is going to shock this country. I have a strong belief that is going to shock this country. There are things he's going to do that nobody else will ever believe that this man can do those things. We have that confidence. However, we are appealing to him to look at the situation of the unemployed people in Nigeria, so that, because when you look at it, the people that we call unemployed, or those are the informal sector, or those who don't even have anything to, they are actually very, very productive. When you look at what they've done just in the past less than 1 decade, without anybody's help, they've gone viral, they've gone everywhere. So they can help themselves. All they need is government support. I think government should begin to think of a way to begin to pay these people some stipends at the end of every month, to encourage them. The country belongs to everybody. I think that that is a very good one. And we plead with Mr. President to also look at that. While you're looking for something for those who are working in the civil service, also think of those who are not in the payroll of the government. That is our take.
We are looking at the budget, the amount budgeted for the Nigerian youth. The Federal Ministry of Youth itself only budgeted 3.917 billion for local training for the youth and for data and others, and some 22 billion for youth empowerment in Nigeria. Like, we're looking closely to 30 billion for Nigerian youth. Do you think that money is enough? Because looking at the population of Nigerian youth, what do you think as the president of Unemployed Youth Association in Nigeria, Oyan?
I'm very surprised when he announced if something like that is enough. That is completely unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable to any reasonable reasoning person in society. The Nigerian youth, That cannot go anywhere. It's less than a drop of a slide in the ocean. It is definitely not enough at all. And as you know, those are the informal sector, the unemployed, are 100 times more in number than the labor. We are 100 times more in number. And if we start our own, it is going to shut down this country. Nobody is going to escape. 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 We will all remain here and solve our problems. You see, there is nothing wrong if the federal government budget 1 trillion through the Ministry of Youth Development for skills purposes, youth empowerment, and small business purposes. This is to save this country from whatever catastrophe. Because as I'm talking to you, the youths are far, far, far angrier. Those unemployed are angrier than those who are employed and asking for salary increment. So they should do it quickly. They should begin to see how the relationship between the government and the masses, they begin to draw that gap. They begin to organize seminars, programs in the different town hall meetings with the youths, so that the youth will begin to build confidence again in the government. The 1 year has passed, this second year should be different. That is my take. That money, nobody should even mention that money. It is not acceptable, it is wrong. It's not enough. 1 trillion naira every year should be budgeted, should be channeled through the Ministry of Youth Development for youth empowerment, skills acquisition, and maybe minor literacy, training programs to remove these little children that are carrying pure water on the streets. That is my take on it.
Yeah, thank you very much. But for now, how will you assess the governments in power? At least they are 1 year in power now. What is your take? Are they doing very well, or do you think Nigerians are not patient enough? Because there is a lot of hitting hard on the present government. You know, everything is not really inflations and high cost of living, and the job is not there. You cannot. It's very difficult for someone to get a job now. What do you think? How do you rate this present government of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I still want to say that the government will do something about this lack of productivity, because there cannot be any job when there is no productivity. A country has to be productive to be able to create jobs. That is the truth. If the country is not productive, how will you create the job? How will you create the job? The country is which sector in our economy is productive right now? It's not productive. So if the agri sector is not productive, the technology, the country is not productive. It is only when the country is productive, that is when you will see that there will be jobs everywhere for everybody. But however, what we need, you cannot judge a 1-year-old child. Most children, sometimes 1-year-old, they even find it very difficult to walk. So let us believe that the president is going to look at some of these things critically, assemble the right people to deliver on those things. The president has seen everything in life. There is nothing he has done. Even before he became the president of this country, he wasn't lacking anything. And he's not a very young person. So I don't think he will do a lot, and he will shock Nigerians very soon. That is our take on it. And the right things in this country will be done, and people will be happy for it. That is my take.
So finally from me, what will be your strong message to the president? Because now Nigerians are not smiling. Nigerians are not smiling. You understand? And the Labour are pushing the government to the wall. And the Attorney General are coming to fight back, telling them you cannot go to strike. You are not giving us 15 days. And you see everywhere now, the filling stations are not selling, the banks are not opening, and for you to move, your movement is restricted. Not that they will not allow you to move on the street. You will, but the factors that will make you move to where you want to move to, there is increase. The fuel now is increased. If you want to buy, you go to black market. You understand? If you want to jump into a cab, say you're going to there's increase in transport fare. So what is your strong message? And NLC are rejecting the 50% by the federal government.
Number one, the president should work extra hard to fix the refineries and put them into use so that the fuel price can come down, so as to stabilize this issue of transportation. Because somebody who was paying 500 naira to work in a place where they pay him 25 or 30,000, now he has to pay 2,000 naira every day and end up spending like about 40,000 at the end of the month. That is above his salary. He cannot cope. And as I am talking to you, a lot of persons, more than 60 million, lost their jobs, especially those ones that were working at the informal, working in different private sectors. They cannot cope. There is no way they can cope. So they have lost their jobs. So our appeal to Mr. President is to act quickly, fix those refineries, and then see how some kind of stipends could also be fixed for those who are not working. Those are the informal sector. The youth, the unemployed, they should have a sense of belonging. It will reduce criminality. That is our appeal. And we pray that it comes soon, because everybody is feeling that we have been pushed to the wall. And I know what we represent, and I know what our various structures across the country, the pressure they are putting to some of us who are leaders. And so if these things are not done, the next action you will see will not be the Nigerian labor. It will be those at the informal sector and the unemployed youths of Nigeria that will start their own demonstrations across the country. That is what you will see.
But some people are saying the informal sectors, some private sectors, private company owners have not been able to meet up that 30,000 naira minimum wage, and the labor are pushing more.
They can. You see, there is no way. It is not. It is at the level of your productiveness determines how you pay. You know that it is very, very difficult for you to pay. It is very, very difficult for you to pay when you're not productive. It is the same thing we're talking. The private sector, how productive are they? If they are very productive and they are refusing to pay their workers, then it's probably they are just being wicked to the workers. Because I know some...
The cost of production now is very...
It's on the high side. That is why we are appealing to the government to act
like
quickly.
Now, as we are in this studio now, we are running gen. And today, the gen per liters, the liters of fuel today is 1,000 plus. Because you are buying in the market 1,000 to how would they survive?
Basically, that is exactly what we're talking. The number one, the purchasing power of the naira. Number two, government should fix that purchasing power of the naira and bring us out of this pit. Number two, the fuel price, bring it back to where it was. That is our plea. The price of fuel was 180, 190 naira. 180, 190 naira. And so if our refineries are working, they should be able to... I don't think that the things that they are going to use to produce those things are the ones that are going to consume up to 700 naira per liter. We don't believe that. So the government should do more and help the poor masses. The only thing the poor people are enjoying in this country is that they are able to transport themselves with little money to where they are going and come back home. They are not asking for more. So the government should do that for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this program. My name is Siriman Afolabi Wahab. We have been talking with the president of Unemployed Association of Nigeria. He have said a lot. But thank you for staying with us. Please don't forget to drop your comment so that we can reply you and we can send some of the comment to the Unemployed President of Nigeria so that they will know what Nigerians and other people in diaspora are saying. Because Nigeria is going to be a great nation. I want Nigeria to be great. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much for watching.